All right, let's get right into this geopolitical briefing. So let's just set the stakes here. America's most overlooked national security threat. It isn't a new weapon or some kind of cyber attack. No, it all comes down to a commodity, a critical mineral that our entire tech and defense sectors are built on. This isn't an investment pitch. Think of it as an alert about a massive vulnerability. So here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll dive into America's deep vulnerability when it comes to silver. Then, we'll look at the specific catalyst that could turn this problem into a crisis. After that, we'll uncover a buried strategic stockpile right here at home, expose a huge market inefficiency, and show how this national asset could be unlocked. And finally, we'll talk about the coming national security premium. It's time to connect the dots. First things first, we need to understand why silver is so indispensable. Forget what you think you know about it being just a precious metal. It's a strategic industrial metal. I mean, it's in everything, from the solar panels powering our grid to the guidance systems in our most advanced missiles. Without it, our modern military and our green economy, they basically just grind to a halt. And this chart, wow, it just lays the whole problem bare. That big bar on the left, that's America's massive and growing appetite for silver. And that tiny little bar on the right, yeah, that's what we actually produce here at home. This enormous gap creates a really dangerous dependency on other countries for a mineral that is absolutely essential to our national security. Okay, so we have this ongoing problem. Now let's talk about the catalyst, the one thing that could turn this chronic dependency into an acute, full-blown crisis. Imagine this number, $80 an ounce for silver. At that price point, our reliance on foreign supply chains isn't just a strategic problem anymore. It becomes financially crippling. The costs to our defense contractors, to our green energy companies, they would be unsustainable. This is the catalyst. This is the point where the entire game has to change. So, when you're faced with a crisis like that, the solution can't come from overseas. It has to be domestic, it has to be secure, and it has to be ready to go. And a solution of that exact scale, well, it actually exists. We are talking about a top-tier asset of 125 million measured and indicated ounces of silver. Now that's key. Measured and indicated means this isn't some wild guess. It's a known, quantified deposit. This isn't just a potential mine. It is a true strategic stockpile, just waiting right inside our own borders. And here's the crucial part. This strategic stockpile isn't in a hostile country or some unstable region. It's secure. It's located on private land right in California's Mojave Desert. From a national security perspective, that changes everything. Okay, so if we have this vital national asset, this hugely important strategic stockpile, you have to ask the question, right? From an investor's point of view, why on earth is the company that owns it trading for peanuts? I mean, just look at this disconnect. It's wild. The company, Apollo Silver, they control 125 million ounces of this resource. But the market is valuing each of those secure, domestic American ounces at just $1.72. This is the very definition of a major market inefficiency, especially in a world that could be barreling towards $80 silver. So here's the bottom line. The market has not yet priced in the incredible strategic importance of this domestic silver stockpile. It's still viewing it as just another mineral deposit, not the critical national asset it is poised to become. So let's dig into the numbers a bit and see exactly why the economics of this strategic stockpile gets so radically transformed once silver prices start moving higher. Okay, the key to understanding the low-cost potential here is a term called the strip ratio. It sounds technical, but it's actually super simple. It's just how much dirt and rock you have to move out of the way to get to the good stuff, the ore. And of course, the lower that number, the cheaper it is to mine. And this project has an unbelievably low 0.8 to 1 strip ratio. The ore is so close to the surface, you can just forget about deep, expensive tunnels. I want you to picture giant excavators just scooping this silver-rich ore right from the surface. It's more like a quarry than a mine, which is an absolute game changer for keeping costs down. But wait, it gets even better. This project has a secret weapon. The ore is also packed with barite, another critical mineral that's in high demand. The strategy is brilliant. You sell the barites, and those sales could potentially pay for the entire mining operation. What does that mean? It means the silver, all 125 million ounces of our strategic stockpile, could be essentially free to produce. And this brings us to the endgame. This is how the market could be forced to completely reevaluate this asset once it's viewed through that national security lens. Look, we all know global supply chains are fragile, and key industries, we're talking defense, EV manufacturing, you name it, they're going to be forced to look inward. They simply cannot afford to have their production lines shut down because some foreign power decides to turn off the silver tap. So they're going to demand, and they will pay a premium for, a secure, made-in-America source of these critical minerals. And that inevitable demand is what will force a market re-rating. It's about closing that huge gap between the current valuation, under $2 an ounce, and a fair value that reflects the asset's real strategic importance. A target of $5 to $8 per ounce isn't just wishful thinking. It's a realignment with its undeniable strategic value in a very volatile world. So we'll end with this thought, just to leave you with something to consider. When a simple resource becomes a critical national security asset, how long can a market inefficiency of this scale really last? And of course, please remember that this content is for informational purposes only. It is not financial advice. Exploration stocks are inherently volatile and they carry significant risk.